Welcome Ignite attendees. My name is Jay Gurbani and I'm a Partner Solutions Architect here at Dynatrace. Now, have you ever wondered how you could embrace the cloud but eliminate the inherent complexities and risks? Today I'll walk you through how Dynatrace's software intelligence platform can help enable your cloud maturity as you move from on-prem to microservices for a well-architected Azure cloud through every step of your adoption journey. I'll also walk you through how we monitor Azure through our newest offering, which is a native Azure resource called Dynatrace for Azure. So let's get started. Now, your journey to modernization takes place in multiple phases. First leg of your journey is to rehost and reallocate your application into Azure. Now, rehosting is just lifting and shifting an application from virtual machines and physical machines and hosting them on VMs in Azure. Your next leg is to reallocate that application by containerizing it into Azure Container or Azure Kubernetes. Obviously, once applications are hosted on Azure, it's much easier to transform those applications into cloud native services. You might want to also refactor and replatform the application to use Azure Managed Services or Azure serverless services like Azure Functions or Azure App. Now, as you saw in the previous slide, there are several stages of your modernization journey. This chart helps explain about the modernization benefits. The horizontal axis is showing you the different stages of modernization and migration, while the vertical axis is showing you the innovation and cost. As you can see from this chart, modernization and innovation go hand in hand. As you move further and further right by adopting cloud native resources for your applications, your cloud cost goes down and your level of innovation goes up. Now, as you go down the modernization journey, Dynatrace can help manage that complexity and simplify many things. While you're on-prem or operate in a hybrid cloud scenario, you can easily deploy our One Agent and take advantage of the auto instrumentation it provides to give you insights into what you're migrating and the current health of them. As you modernize from VMs to microservices, or even to containerized solutions such as Azure Container Services or Azure Kubernetes, Dynatrace is right by your side to give you deep insights into the health and availability of your application. For serverless platforms like Azure Functions and Azure App Services, Dynatrace provides One Agent to help monitor those platforms as well. The Dynatrace platform was purposely built to embrace the functionalities that make up all pillars of the observability. We help transform our customers faster with more confidence and modernize to deliver better business outcomes. Our all-in-one platform has automation and intelligence at its core, and it covers all of the disciplines of observability, including our infrastructure monitoring module that provides complete hybrid cloud visibility across the enterprise, our application and microservices module that helps deliver our best-in-class full-stack APM with distributed tracing and code-level details, our digital experience, or DEM, which is critical for assuring performance and availability of high-profile customer-facing applications. And then in conjunction with DEM, our digital business analytics provides customers with real-time insights about the impact of performance issues or outages on revenues, conversion rates, or other business KPIs that matter to you. And then finally, our newest module, which is our application security module, which provides runtime application security and protection, optimized for Kubernetes and cloud native technologies across the lifecycle. And to put it all together, our analytics and Smartscape, which provides you with the precise root cause to your problems and auto-discovers your ever-changing environment in real time. So why is it important to have a single platform for your observability? It's to gain crucial insights into areas of your infrastructure that might not have otherwise been able to see. It's to work more collaboratively and accelerate the troubleshooting process further by empowering your organization to act faster than it could by using traditional monitoring tools, thanks to enhanced visibility. It's really turning the terabytes of telemetry data into real-time answers, and then asking IT teams, rather than asking IT teams to cobble together an understanding of what has happened using snippets of data from other disparate sources. With full stack monitoring, you understand all of the relationships and interdependencies from front end to the services to the host layer, all the way down to the back end to the infrastructure layer. The Microsoft Cloud Adoption Framework is a set of guiding principles to help organizations deal with some of those obstacles as they begin their cloud adoption journey. So as you begin your own journey, Dynatrace can help you alongside each step of the cloud adoption framework. First off, as you begin to define a strategy and plan out your adoption, Dynatrace gives you better insights during your planning phases. For example, it automatically generates a blueprint of your existing infrastructure, services, and applications thanks to our Smartscape technology. Dynatrace baselines your existing on-premise application and calculates their current resource consumptions. Now, as you move to the second phase to use modern cloud-native technologies, Dynatrace has many integrations out of the box to support cloud-native technologies in Azure. Additionally, you can instrument Dynatrace on your monolith application running on a VM and turn around and instrument that same microservices-based application without making any code changes to help in your migration planning exercise. Next up, as you begin your migration of your application, you want to help ensure that your customers are not impacted during and post-migration. Dynatrace monitors the progress of your shifting workloads to the cloud. It also has many other built-in features for service level objective management and end user experience management to provide better insights. Lastly, as you continue to innovate and operate in Azure, Dynatrace helps simplify cloud operations with the hybrid cloud visibility. Our AI engine can help reduce the operational complexity of running in the cloud by detecting problems and reducing mean time to recovery, or MTTR. Dynatrace is also automatically baselining any new workloads as they move to Azure with our OneAgent and Azure Monitor integration. And as you look to evaluate the architecture and implement new designs for your application using the well-architected framework, Dynatrace supports all 5 pillars of that framework. So let's dive into some specific examples of how we can help with each of the pillars of Cloud Adoption Framework. So during your initial planning phases, there are several questions you're trying to answer about your environment. For example, which technologies do you have running within your data centers? What data centers do they actually run in? Which technologies are a good candidate to be moved or not? These are all great questions, but only Dynatrace is uniquely aligned to answer them for you. Once you drop the OneAgent in your environment, alongside our Smartscape technology and Davis AI, it will automatically discover what's installed and who's talking to what host or what downstream service. As you can see in this view of Smartscape, it automatically generates a blueprint of your existing infrastructure, services, and application landscape, all the way down to your data center. Dynatrace is also baselining your existing on-premise applications and calculates your current resource consumption. This enables you to have a smarter re-architecture or re-platforming decision based on your existing on-premise workload. Now, with cloud-native technologies such as Azure Kubernetes Service, Dynatrace gives you some deep insights into your AKS cluster. It also gives you complete code-level visibility for all your containers running on AKS. In this dashboard, you can quickly get a high-level summary of your AKS cluster health, how many different workloads that are running on that cluster, and whether your underlying pods are healthy. Now, as you continue your migration, you need to ensure your customers are not impacted either during or post-migration. With our Digital Experience module, or DEM, you can observe from the outside in how your application is performing. With our DEM module, you can quickly identify which pages are loading slow and why are they slow. Perhaps it's a backend database that's a contributor of the issue. The beauty of Dynatrace is we tie the perspective of your users and business back to the full stack monitoring of applications, components, and your infrastructure beneath it. Finally, from a simplification perspective, the Dynatrace AI assistant called Davis is constantly evaluating what's happening, and it's looking for problems for you. Davis continuously observes, learns, and auto-adapts to changes in real time to detect problems. Out of the box, it will detect problems. It will help identify who's impacted by the problem, and it will explain what the root cause is. It's all done automatically for you. Now we know modernization is ubiquitous, and with that, migration to the cloud has become essential. Now more than ever, it's critical to make comprehensive observability a part of your cloud migration initiative. Now at Dynatrace, we call that cloud done right. Cloud done right means delivering answers and intelligent automation data, not just dashboards. It's delivering flawless and secure digital interactions with your customers. It's ensuring you have a complete visibility of your entire IT ecosystem. It enables not just rapid, targeted response, but also auto remediation built directly into the code. Now, at this drives our quest to enable a world in which software runs perfectly. That is the power of Dynatrace. So as you move to Azure, together with Microsoft, Dynatrace is ready to deliver a better cloud for you. Dynatrace supports many of the out-of-the-box Azure Cloud native services. For example, we have a full stack support with our One Agent when you deploy it through Azure Resource Management templates or site extensions on Azure VMs or VM scale sets. We also have an extensive support for container and Kubernetes from Azure Kubernetes Service, also known as AKS, to Azure Service Fabric. You can get deep code level insights through our One Agent for Azure Functions or Azure App Services. And with our Azure Spring Cloud offering, you can now instrument your Java apps with our One Agent to get that deep code level transaction tracing capability. Also, for other Azure services where we can't deploy our One Agent, Dynatrace can ingest metrics from our native Azure Monitor integration from various Azure services. Now, once that data is ingested by Dynatrace, we can then enrich it with our Smartscape and AI engine. From there, we build out our Smartscape dependency map of your complete Azure ecosystem. Now, I'm excited to show you our newest offering for Azure. It's called Dynatrace for Azure. With this new native Azure portal integration, you get an integrated onboarding experience of procuring and managing Dynatrace with a unified billing directly inside the Azure Marketplace and Azure portal. If you use Azure Active Directory for single sign-on for your Azure portal, you can now use that same authentication method for your Dynatrace environment. You also have quick and very seamless enablement capability for metrics and logs for Azure VMs and Azure App Services resources. You can also at a glance see which resources are emitting their logs and metrics to the Dynatrace and make instance changes to them via Azure tags. You can leverage one-click install of our One Agent to single or multiple Azure resources from your Azure portal. Lastly, you can easily manage Dynatrace resources from the Azure CLI to further extend your deployment of your Azure resources.
As you can see, Dynatrace is now a native Azure resource that's created by the Azure Marketplace to ingest observability data from a variety of Azure resources like Azure VMs and app services. Now let's walk through some of the Dynatrace environment configuration screens within the Azure portal to show you how easy it is to manage your Dynatrace environment. When you go to the monitored resources view, this gives you a central view of all the Azure resources that are currently sending their observability data to the Dynatrace platform in Azure. If you wanted to quickly deploy one agent to a virtual machine, you can select which VM you want to deploy it to and click on Install Extension. Within minutes, one agent is automatically deployed to the VM and discovers whatever processes you have running on that host. Based on what it finds, one agent can then automatically activate instrumentations specifically for your application stack, as well as auto-inject tags into your web application pages. Any new processes or components get auto-instrumented on the fly. That's the beauty of our one agent. Now, same goes for one agent on Azure App Services. You can quickly select which .NET app you want to deploy it to, and then click on Install Extension. It's that easy. Now, if I were to go back to the Azure Resource Overview screen, we can leverage our single sign-on capability from Azure to go directly into the Dynatrace platform. Once you're in your Dynatrace environment, you can quickly assess which Azure resources are sending their observability data to Dynatrace platform. In this view, now you're able to see log data for all of the Azure resources we've tagged to send to the Dynatrace platform. We can also pull up any metrics for any hosts that we've set up with one agent or view any Azure Kubernetes clusters we're monitoring with Dynatrace. If we wanted to look at an interactive visualization of dynamic relationships of all of our application components running in Azure, we can come to our Smartscape view. Our Smartscape view is built by our one agent, which discovers all of the components and dependencies in your application. And then our Smartscape technology simultaneously builds an interactive map of how everything is interconnected.
Please check out our blog article or our marketplace listing for additional details on Dynatrace for Azure. If you're just interested in learning more about this new offering, feel free to use our sign up link and we'll set up a demo for you. Now, no matter where you are in your modernization journey, check out my blog article on how you can use pillars of the Azure Well-Architected framework alongside with Dynatrace to help ease your modernization journey. Thank you for watching this session. Enjoy the rest of Microsoft Ignite Conference.